Alright. I'm Sebastian from InvestComics.com, and this is a lonely, congested, weird little fic. This store is in a state of flux and disarray, and Jared's dragging something heavy. Shaun is diligently working on setting up for Free Comic Book Day, and I have recently resurrected myself from the dead, so I will be here by myself for the today. So let's get started. First up, we got from Dynamite, we got Evil Ernie number 5, which is continuing the origin, the new origin of the rebooted Evil Ernie. Is good. Is all right. It's not great. It's not necessarily my thing, but it's got its moments, and the art's pretty nice. Also from Dynamite, we're gonna have a bunch of Dynamite. Apparently, I read all my Dynamites in a row. We got Pathfinder number 6. I continue to like this book. It's fun. Since the IDW Dungeons and Dragons, their generic Dungeons and Dragons went away, I haven't really found a fantasy comic to latch onto. But this one's been pretty fun, and art-wise, and it's Jim Zub, and he does that other one that people always tell me to read, but I don't, over from Image, and I don't remember what the heck it's called, but you probably do. And Skull Kickers, he does that one. But this is pretty good. Art-wise, it kind of reminds me of, it's Andrew Huerta, but it kind of reminds me of if Humberto Ramos and vintage Simon Bisley had a collaboration. This is sort of what it would look like. Shadow Year 1 number 2 was awesome. I really, really like this. I love the art in this. It's like Shadow, the animated series, and it's Matt Wagner writing it, and Matt Wagner just gets pulp, and it's so good. Green Hornet Legacy number 35. See, now it's got Legacy on there because Mark Waid is doing Green Hornet. That's like real Green Hornet, and this was the Kevin Smith movie verse for the movie that never happened stuff, and it's okay. I've loved this book at points. I've liked this book at points, and I've been what the hell at points. It's better than the what the hell, but it's still just in the like. I read a lot of Dynamite this week. Deja Thoris and the Green Men number 3. Really good. I've been liking this story. I love these covers. These covers just look like old pulp books, and they're just gorgeous covers. And not just because she's mostly naked, though that doesn't hurt. But this has been good. Deja Thoris has been captured by a handful of the Green Martians who are still not happy with the relations of Green and Red Martians, and they don't like that everyone's trying to get nice. They want to go back to the good old days when everyone hated each other and killed each other openly, and so they're trying to make a point out of Deja Thoris. And meanwhile, in the background, you've got John Carter and Thomas Tarka figuring out that John Carter is many things, but detective is not one of them, because he's like, I can't figure this crap out. Birds of Prey, number 19. The gatefold cover of Attacked and Betrayed by, oh no, Mr. Freeze and one of their own, Starling. Okay, we knew Starling was a traitor. We'd seen her talking to Waller behind the scenes. Apparently she's also a traitor with, Mr. Freeze, like you do. It's good. I like this. I still like Condor and Strix as characters. I like Batgirl because I like her from the Gail Simone stuff, and I've always been a fan of Black Canary. So I've been liking this book. This is the second issue since Christy Marks took over. It's not as good as Straczynski's, but it's still pretty good. Dialogue gets a bit stiff in places, especially at the when you get the reveal. It's not a reveal because the cover revealed it already. Pretty revealing. You've got Black Canary. You've gone over to his side. Who says it? And clearly that line was just to set up the no sweets. I've always been on his side. But all in all, still a pretty solid read. It was just that last page really just threw me. Which is a shame because it was that last page. And then, yeah, I like the new character Condor. I really do. They tipped at the fact that he's Native American under there, so I don't know if he's supposed to be the new 52's equivalent of Black Condor, or if we'll ever see a Black Condor over with the Palmiotti and Gray stuff, but is good. The new Ghostbusters, number 3. The boys are back in town. The boys are back in town. Eventually, and it's good. This book, you should just be reading IDW's Ghostbusters. You should get the first run in trades. You should get this. You should read it. It's so good. It's gorgeous. It's well written. It's, if they never do this movie sequel that it's on, it's off, it's on, it's off, it won't matter, because this is so good. It's like 2 parts real Ghostbusters, 1 part Ghostbusters movies, all parts blended to perfection. So nice. And you get a little 2-page real Ghostbusters backup story. So what's not to love? From Cryptozoic, you got Lookouts number 5. Read this. This book is awesome. I forgot this. I said before, I've been looking for a fun fantasy. This is awesome. It's fun. It's got that cartoony style, but don't let that fool you. Yes, all ages can read this, but it's still good enough. This is one of those where little kids can look at it and go, "Ooh, I like this," but you can read this, and it's not like it's cutting out or dumbing it down for you. This book is just perfection. Perfection. Nightwing with weird-looking New 52, the Prankster, in Chicago. Is good story-wise. Kyle Higgins still has it. I'm not the biggest fan of Brett Booth in the world, but I think he is much better suited to run a Nightwing solo book than he was to that hot mess that is Teen Titans. So it works here. I mean, it's still. I think all of his faces look very much the same, and Nightwing out of costume looks about 16. But other than that, he does a good enough job for this. He's got a lot of energy. Nightwing moves around all the time. The tone has changed in the Nightwing book. Is a more fun here, despite the fact everything really just sucked like a minute and a half ago. He's out of Gotham. He's out of the shadow of the bat. It's good. This sleeper hit of the week, I think. Supergirl. What's deadlier than Lex Luthor? Power Girl. Oh, Power Girl gets her actual costume back. The more classic. Pervs. The boob window's back, but that shouldn't be your focus point. But this issue was really, really good. It's Mike Johnson, Mahmoud Azrar does the art. Art is gorgeous, always has been. But yeah, you get Power Girl meets Supergirl, and they don't even mince. The second they touch, they realize, wow, we have the exact same origin, and they're basically the same exact person from Earth 1 and Earth 2, and they just team up to deal with each of their versions of kryptonite poisoning, and it was so good. I can't wait for the next one because this story continues. You have the origin of why she gets the new costume, Kryptonian stuff, always nice, and just so good. So read, are you getting it? Read Supergirl, number 19. Read the rest of the Supergirls because they're good, but this was just freaking awesome. From Aspen, Idolized, number 5. I liked this series. This brings it to an end, a nice end that leaves you with a great potential for them to come back and do more. But it wraps everything up, I think, really nicely. Introduces, you get a better look at some of her supporting cast from the TV show she's been trying on for Superhero Idol or whatever. And now they actually go out and become a team and have to take down Stasis, the bad guy, and they mesh really well, despite some of their obvious little foibles. They mesh really well. Art's nice. It's good. I liked it. Revival number 9. Oh, this book is gorgeous. Have I told you this book is gorgeous? This book is gorgeous. Oh, gorgeous book, by the way. Story-wise, awesome. Gets deep and intriguing, and lots going on, lots of moving parts in this. But that's why it went from limited to ongoing, and there's so much. It's so good. So, it's at times creepy, at times fun, and at times just like regular real life drama that just happens to have all these sci-fi fantasy aspects going on. Really, really good. Speaking of sci-fi fantasy aspects, do I need to tell you? I mean, have you watched this show before? Have you seen me go on about the Sixth Gun? All right, here's the Sixth Gun number 30. Right there, 30 of these. Here's the Sixth Gun, Sons of the Gun, which is the origins of the other 5, 6 guns. This is number 3. Both of these, so good, so good, so good. You got Brian Hurt doing the art on this. You got Chirilla doing the art on this. So good. This story. They get to an Indian village where basically Becky has to take her spirit walk because from using the gun, she's half in the spirit world, half out, and the spirit walk does not go as planned. And as always, she calls out to Drake because he's gonna need to do some help in there. This book is awesome, and yeah, that's right. We'll do some Invest Comicsy type call outs. It said this has been sold for, the rights have been sold for a show. NBC is going to try and put it out. Number 1 has gone on eBay for $150, or 200, 250. Number 1 went for $250. Number 0, the free comic book day issue. Note the word free comic book day. That went for $75. All right, I've got both of these somewhere in the mess that is my collection, but I've also got all the trades because I love this so much. I even bought the trades. I should go make some money and play the Invest Comicsy thing and eBay those puppies while the getting's good, because sometimes I don't know how to speculate. I'm not good at speculating. I just know good books, and sometimes the rest of the world realizes they're good too, and they end up worth money. Yay! Superior Spider-Man. Uh-ohs. Doc Ock has his biggest heroic moment since being Spidey, and actually starts to think that that being a hero is a good thing, and it's nice because it's a tying up. He's getting to help a cancer patient whose condition was made worse during one of his plots. She wasn't part of his plot, but as a result of when he was trying to cook the world, basically things got bad, and he'd never really occurred. He never thought about the little people in his plans. So now he gets to right one of his old wrongs. Along the way, though, he discovers the anomaly on his brain scan that is Peter. So next issue is the one with the cover with them both walking around in Peter's brain, and this is going to be the big change. Does Peter take back over and end up with a life that's kind of a mess because Doc Ock's been doing stuff? Does Doc Ock obliterate Peter and get to be Spider-Man forever, or at least until till these stop selling? I don't know what to tell you. I'm still liking this. I don't want any of this to be permanent. It's a fun idea for a story. I like all of the way it's been handled, but I want my Peter Parker back. So there's where I stand. This was so good, but this always is, because Tony Bedard is one of the most underrated writers of our time. He writes consistently such awesome books, and yet when people list off, the writers are, they always kind of neglect poor Tony Bedard. But boom, you even get White Lantern, Baz, Simon Baz, what? Oh my goodness. Korgar blew up, alright? That happened. Is dead. Sinestro, not really thrilled about this. Even by Sinestro standards. And then he finds Kyle's got the white ring of life and goes nuts. And he tries to take it, and he tries to bring everybody back, and it doesn't really work so good. And it's a musical ring. Kyle gets to wear the white ring. Sinestro gets to wear the white ring. Simon Baz gets to wear the white ring. But eventually Sinestro, he knows what color he suits best. Yellow. So you got all that going on. It's so good though. So good. 5 Ghosts. I read the first one, so I gave the second one a shot, and it's not really my thing. I mean, it's okay, and I'm sure that, you know, this is one of those books that, you know, I left yesterday's roundtable here at Famous Faces early. I'm sure this is one of the ones that there are a couple people that'll talk about and be like, this isn't, you know, on the awesome list. We'll mostly call those people Sean Cobble, because this is the kind of book he'd kind of I think he'd dig, but it's just not my thing. Nova number 3 continues to be good, despite the fact that none of the elements here should be anything I'm interested in. Yeah, no, this is like taking a bunch of things that a bunch of ingredients for food that I don't think one way or the other about, and a handful of foods that I don't like, mixing them together and making the greatest recipe ever. And I was just very surprised by that. But yeah, it's really good. I don't like Age of Ultron. You know, big deal, you know, happens, you know, that's probably not too permanent, since they've already announced that the person they kill in this issue is a major character in an upcoming post-Age of Ultron story. But yeah, for the moment, you know, Wolverine kills Hank Pym, and that happened. Wolverine and the X-Men, number 27, AU. You know, this is the Age of Ultron tie-in. It's a, you know, decent little, I don't know if you can believe Wolverine and Ms. Fantastic, Sue Richards, the Invisible Woman, go on a road trip, and along the way Wolverine accidentally creates the Brood. Yeah, and then that happened. This is so good. The Fury and the Passion of Wonder Woman and Orion. Holy God. Wonder Woman is just such a great book, and you should all be reading this, and you're not, and that's because you're weenie heads. And if you weren't a weenie head, you would read Wonder Woman. That's some strong words, but you know, I gotta stand by them. X Factor number 254. Awesome, always awesome, because it's X Factor and it's Peter David, and Jamie Madrox is quiet because he has no mouth at the moment. But next issue going to be knockdown, drag out, kick ass fight between Guido, aka Strong Guy, and Monet in hell. So that's going to be something to watch out for. All the different Satan stand-ins and devil types in the Marvel Universe are still kicking each other's ass, and Mephisto's daughter is teaming up with X Factor. So there's a lot going on. X-O Manowar Planet Death is so good because Valiant is so good, and nothing they do is bad. And you should read these and then you can call and say, "Oh my God, I should have been reading those. You were right, Seb. Why didn't you tell me this earlier?" And I won't even mention that I have been, but it's so good, and it's just so good. The Black Beetle number 3. All right, Francesco Francavilla, so good. All right, so look, it's like all my so goods are down at the bottom. I read them. I think I reviewed these in the reverse order that I read them. Is what just happened. This book is so good. It's pulp has never been better, just never been better, and this book is awesome. And I can't wait for the next issue, and I'm saddened by the next issue because the next issue is the last issue, and I already want more. I just already want more. This is so good. I've already ordered the trades. When this is done, I'm gonna get the trade and just reread it and cry soft little tears to myself. Bloodshot number 10 is next part of the Harbinger Wars. Harbinger Wars have been great so far. This is, I know you guys get sick of me saying so good, but we're in the so good section. I don't know what to tell you. This is just so good, and it's got like one of the best last lines of a comic, you know, to leave you hanging for what's coming next in a while. This is just great, and again, Valiant can't mess anything up. Daredevil, the Man Without Fear, number 25. Next issue, Daredevil, the Man with Fear. Uh-oh, that's not good. This issue, Daredevil meets beyond his match. All right, they are just they're just messing with Daredevil, like beyond, above and beyond messing with him. Also, we've still got Foggy going through his cancer treatments. So Daredevil's, it's not like his home life is any better. But oh my God, this whole issue is just a lesson for Daredevil as his ass gets kicked, just to let him go so they can tell him, now you know we can beat you. We just don't want you to know when. We want you to know that we can, and we want you to know how. We just don't want you to know when. So, some point in the near future, you're dead. And Daredevil's like, limp. Ow. So good. Danger Club, number 5. Took forever for this to come out. So worth it, though. So good. The trade collects the first 4, so that's out. Go get the trade. Get this. You'll have the whole story so far, and you're just going to be amazed. This is awesome. This is, periodically you get those comics where they do the, like what if the heroes of yesterday grew up to today, and now things go south, and gets more of a real world vibe with flashbacks to comic booky vibe, but real world vibe for now. But it's so well done, and it's so good, and the art is so gorgeous. This is this is Landry Walker, so that makes Landry Q Walker, so that makes sense because he can just write the hell out of anything. And Eric Jones on art. This is just, it's gorgeous to read. It's gorgeous to look at. It's just beyond gorgeous. You need trade this. Go. Vibe number 3. I don't care. Vibe is really good. Vibe meets Kid Flash. This issue is it's Sterling Gates coming on as the writer, and Sterling Gates nails it. You don't even notice that Jeff Johns has filtered out. I forget who else was writing with him. Jeff Johns and he work on a bunch of things, and then they do like Arrow and stuff, and you don't even notice. It's the smoothest writing transition ever, and it's the best Kid Flash story since the New 52, and Vibe is just great, and we learn a lot more about Vibe and the way his power works and the kind of character he is, and it's just so I'm gonna say it right, so good. Justice League, who's killing Superman? It's Batman, but it isn't. So the cover lied to you blatantly, and I'm okay with that. But yeah, basically this is a big warning for Superman and Wonder Woman as Batman tells them, look, you guys became a couple, and it's going to scare the crap out of the world because you're the 2 most powerful people on the planet. Now you're together, and that's going to scare the crap out of a bunch of people. So be warned, they will come at you. Which is cool as a concept, even though I still, one of the things I don't like about the New 52 is that the DC heroes don't get to just be heroes anymore. I always liked that, Marvel was for the mistrusted heroes, and DC was where heroes were heroes, and they acted like heroes, and they were treated like heroes. And now they act like Marvel heroes and are treated like Marvel heroes. And I don't know if I need 2 damn universes of that. But for what it is, it's really good. That just particular concept may not be my favorite. Plus, Despero's coming. Oh, that can never be good. The Shazam backup was Shazamless. It was a very Billy Batson backup, but it was so well done, and you really get to see the potential for good and the real kid side of Billy as he comes up with what should be a viable solution to the Black Adam problem if Black Adam was relatable. He tries to relate to Black Adam, but Black Adam is Black Adam, so you can't really just relate to him. So I'm dying to know where that's going. And our final book for today is the final issue of DC Universe Presents, number 19. All right, with Beowulf. I called it back when they said it was a time traveling guy, and then announced it was Tony Bedard writing it. And again, I told you, Tony Bedard, so underrated, so underrated. He did these Beowulf stories that are based on, DC had a Beowulf character at one point back in like the 60s or 70s, and it's a dark future kind of Commandy-esque world, and he revamped that for the backups in the first handful of Sword and Sorceries comics. This ends up with Beowulf in the now. All right, it looks like he's fighting the Justice League. He's not. He's fighting a Puka. All right, because they take all the old myths, give him a kind of sci-fi origin in the future, and this one guy ends up, this Puka ends up in the now, and it just keeps taking shape, and it decides, oh wow, I'm back in the in the past. I could rule here, So it tries turning into all the different Justice League members. It's like Superman going, if you won't listen to me, then listen to your man god, or listen to, it turns into Aquaman. It's like, the Aquaman was a king. Why are you not bowing before me? And everyone's just like, what do you mean bow before you? And Beowulf has to take one. And it's so good, so well done. I highly recommend reading those backups from Sword and Sorcery and reading this. You can read this on its own, but I highly recommend those backups. I hope they put that in, that'd be a good trade. Those backup stories and this issue, just as one little trade. I would read the hell out of that. So good. Alright, I am out of stuff. I am out of time, and you are probably out of patience for listening to my ass go on and on and on by myself. Hopefully, next week we'll have some things sorted out so that, one, we have a little more room, and two, we finally have Shaun and I back on the screen at the same time. And good night, Internet.